YouTube, how the duck you doing? The Films here, and what I got for you today is yet another Marvel Rivals breakdown video. And today we're going to be breaking down how Sentinels managed to do a reverse sweep in the grand finals of Marvel Rivals Ignite Stage 1. It was honestly an insane series, so if you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend checking it out if you want to learn anything, or you just want some good content. But we're going to be talking about every single match that was played in this series, and we're going to be talking about the picks and bans and the strategies that Sentinels used to overcome 100 Thieves. And if you're new here or find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed yet, why not? It's completely free and it greatly helps me out. At 20,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway on some Marvel Rivals skins, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. But without further ado, let's dive straight into the first pick ban. So kicking things off with the pick and ban, on the first map we have Burning T'Challa Domination. Now, if you're not familiar with the new pick ban system, you're banning for the other team and saving for yourself. It's a little bit of a confusing system, but you'll eventually understand it. So on the blue side, or the left side, we have Sentinels, and then we have 100 Thieves. So as you can already see, Sentinels is going for the res composition. If Sentinels has res up, they're going to be playing that composition. It's a given. That's their bread and butter because of Kurovo mainly. And Rising is amazing at Mantis. And when we look at 100 Thieves bans, or what is banned for them, they cannot play Emma, they can't play Torch, they can't play Wolf, they can't play Groot. Instead, they saved Mag and Loki. Letting Loki go through is a major W. For on the side of Sentinels, Captain America, Magneto, Psylocke, Iron Man was banned, and they saved CND and Emma Frost. Now, CND's cape, or her right click or whatever, for Cloak's form, does 28% damage increase if you're hit by it. Now you might be thinking, wow, that's insane, why are they playing Cloak and Dagger? Well, mainly they're playing Cloak and Dagger because it's a tempo ult. Now I'm not saying to go play Cloak and Dagger in your ranked games. They're playing it because you get C&D ult extremely fast and you use it to pressure the enemy team's backline as fast as possible. That's the whole point of it. Now, where on the flip side, when we look at 100 Thieves, it's a standard team composition. This is like what we were running in season 1 or season 0. But the biggest thing to factor in is that on paper, 100 Thieves picks should be able to counter res comp. Because when it comes to playing against res comp, the biggest thing is how fast you can get picks with burst damage. And you have Winter Soldier, you have Hela, and you have Loki. This, in theory, should be able to break through res comp extremely fast. Because again, you want quick picks, quick eliminations, high burst damage. Again, Winter Soldier, Hela, very great picks to play against res comp. And it seems like they probably knew they were going to go into res comp, but we'll see how it goes. Skip ahead a bit. So something to keep in mind, this min-maxing that they're doing, I really want you to pay attention to this. So, know this. On the side of Sentinels, they do the Penny team up with the Rocket. Now, personally, I want both of my Vanguards to be going Penny Rocket at the very start of a domination map or an attack match, because Penny, when she places down her Spider Nest, because of the team up, you get 50 extra HP, and you still get the jump pack boost. You still get the benefits. You get 50 extra. If it's just Rocket, all you get is 25. So doing this at the very beginning is extremely smart and extremely good. 50 extra HP for any fight you take is really good. Now again, when it comes to the res comp on Burning T'Challa Dom is sometimes a little bit bad, but they got pretty lucky because this first map, is actually pretty good for res comp in comparison to the other two, but we'll see how it goes. So we're going for an aggressive portal from Crimzo. Why did I say Crimzo? Now look at this portal placement. When you look at this portal placement, it's a very good wall. So we're walling off so that you don't fight them in the neutral here. Because in theory, Star-Lord, very good up close. So is Emma Frost. Doctor Strange, all good up-close heroes. Well, as comparison, I mean, Hela is okay up close, but predominantly mid to long range, and Bucky mid to close range. But they want the neutral fights because their neutral is going to be a little bit better because they have more damage in comparison to the res comp. But the biggest factor is Star-Lord. This portal play here is very good because, like I was talking about, gets them up close to do a lot of burst damage. And they're just funneling them through this choke here. If the quality is really bad, that's just the Marvel Rivals broadcast. Can't do anything about that. So again, trying to keep the close range. We got the soul bond. Since we're soul bonded, we should be walking at them now. So 2TK manages to find one pick. Delena finds the other. And they really do kind of just roll over here. Because they're down so many, I really don't want them to use their self-reses. They should just save, which they do. It's a very good idea to save your self-res there. And we are taking the more aggressive posture up close because we have the Hela, which is very good, but our tank should be there as well, but we're not. I would have liked them to sit here. And as you notice, we already have Winter Soldier ults. I would have liked Terra to go for a very, very aggressive Winter Soldier ult. I think that would have been perfectly fine, but there wasn't really position for that. Now we have our Mori's ult or Cloak and Dagger, so we're gonna go for a tempo Cloak and Dagger ult, and we're probably gonna reactively do a Bucky and a copy, maybe Invis. Bucky ult. Yeah, good Bucky ult. We get the Mantis ult out as well, which is good, but the thing is, they have self-res, so those picks don't necessarily matter. That's a lot of damage. That could have been really good. We're gonna have res. Yep, here comes the res. Res comp good. Nectar's forcing Delena to ult to save himself, which is very good. He somehow survives. And right now, all we're doing is stabilizing below. That's all we're doing. Everyone's trying to get full HP before we re-aggress. I would like now, right here, if I'm Sentinels, to secure that the eliminations, I would like Star-Lord and Emma Frost to combo their ults. I think that's what we need to be doing here. But we don't really... I mean, it doesn't get really good value. And because of that, because it didn't get insane value, we're kind of forced to Cloak and Dagger ult, which it does get a ton of value, I will say. Like, we did walk through and destroy their backline, but we could have saved Cloak and Dagger for a reactionary ult to one of these ults. I would have liked the two combos, but again, this also works that way. I'm a person that prefers set plays and set strats, so always comboing Emma with some type of duelist ult is probably more my forte. Now, when we look at ult economy, we see that we have mag, so we have the counter to a lot of ults in the game. Again, that was like, the Emma ult doesn't get any value. Amazing goes down, or our Mantis, but she gets the self-res, and we can probably pop her ult the second we get rezzed. We could have ulted a little bit earlier to save Nectar, because Nectar didn't have self-res on Star-Lord. You see Kurova's position, he's playing further in the back because we have the res. And this is the scary part about playing against a Winter Soldier when you're playing res comp, is this here. Is that the second you res, they're all 1 HP, and if you're not fast enough on the trigger with the finger snap, Bucky can get all of the resets there. Getting some good picks. Yeah, more self-reses on the board. I mean, overall, very good from 100 Thieves. Like I said, it's very risky to be playing res comp into 100 Thieves' team composition currently, mainly because it's like the counter to res comp. And even res comp on this map isn't the best either. But because they're so reliant on it, they're going to be doing it, because you can look at the impact on the stat line. 3 and 4 deaths in comparison to 1, because they just keep self-resing, which is absolutely insane. I mean, Res comp can work no matter what. It's just it's harder to play into this composition. Skip ahead. So we are taking the low ground here, which is good. Taking the side angle. I think that's fine. Because they have a Hella Winter Soldier, I wouldn't have mind them going the high ground route. We have a Thing ult, which would probably be good here, which we do. Now, even though technically Sentinels is winning the fight, I do not like the Thing pick here. I think the Thing pick is very bad. Like, even if it seems like it's getting some type of value with the ultimates and damage reduction, acting as like a Magneto in a way, you're playing against a Winter Soldier Hela, and we're forcing Thing. Now, even though they're winning, it's not the best thing to do. I highly discourage people from doing it. I don't think it's good. Like, it's working for him because they're playing as a team. They know how to play around the Thing. But it's like, on paper, it shouldn't be working. Ooh, Terra gets baited. That was very bad. That was a big overextension on his part. Now again, the quality's terrible. I have no control over this. We are going into Hello ult. I mean, again, the whole idea is to stall on the point as long as possible. The point flipped. The point flipped, so there's no point to take the TP through. So he TP'd back to, so it was a 6v6 instead of a 5v6. So we TP back to even the odds. But because the point flipped, the TP got there too late. We're swapping off, which is very good. So that is something to be aware of. You shouldn't be afraid to TP at the very beginning. Like, it's always better to be fighting 6v6 rather than a 5v6. So TPing early, good idea. Now we swap to Groot. Groot is a very good pick because it does semi-counter Thing. But again, we have Winter Soldier to kind of worry about, and we probably will end up swapping off a Winter Soldier. So that's one thing to notice. I don't want this video to be like 12 hours long, so I'm just gonna like fast forward. I mean, we end up winning a majority of the fights literally because of res. Like, that's the big thing. They just keep living. Also, Teki is killing everybody. So it's a very good stabilize with a portal. Managed to hold the point down. We have res for next fight, or next point, I should say, which is very good. I mean, very good. It's just, again, the res comp, so they just stagger forever, and it doesn't even matter what happens. Just, like, you can be terrible and play res comp super effectively, because just how res comp works. So we're starting off with Star-Lord ult to force runes. Unlucky that we got no connection. We're soul bonded while we're ulting as Star-Lord so we can stay alive. We go for the 1v1, we lose. We go for the copy and we go for the Winter Soldier ult. Teki managed to land a super big Emma Frost ult. We miss Groot ult. We get the Invis ult out. Ooh, right. That's really unfortunate for Mantis. But doesn't matter. Born again. And we're still stalling. This is the power of res comp here. This is why it's very annoying. Because literally everybody died. They were still stalling. Everybody's back instantly. It's just like a slop fest. And they all have self-reses. It doesn't really matter how many people you take out. So he gets a pick onto Mantis. Doesn't matter, we have self-res. We have another Cloak and Dagger ult because how fast you get it. We have another Star-Lord ult. We get a really good pick onto Mantis. Still stalling. Really good Groot ults, but no follow-up, so that's unfortunate. We get another Invis ult. It's still not capped. We have another Adam Warlock res. We go into Mantis ults. So even if they get picked, we just Adam res. It doesn't matter. So they finally capped the point and managed to push him back. But again, we have Adam res and Cloak and Dagger ult again. We have Punisher ult and Hela ult again. So we can look to re-aggress here. We pop C and D ult here. Again, he's res backed. And we're playing for res again. We go for the res. 2 fall, 2 are res, 3 fall, 3 are res. I'm not sure what tech he does here. That didn't really make sense. But even though we got those picks, they're still at 5, like a 5v6. And we probably have individual self-reses again, back up. It's just the power of res comp is just miserable to play against.
Sentinels yet again with that Groot ultimate. I mean, you can find eliminations even through the invisible boundary if you time your damage boost right, if you have enough people kind of blasting. So right now, rotations from Honor Thieves trying to get away from.
So we kind of flipped the map here, which is really good by 100 Thieves. Again, we're playing Thing into Groot, so it's a little unfortunate. We go for Emma ult. I mean, we Mantis ult, so it doesn't really matter. We have another Star-Lord ult. I wouldn't say well matched. I would say it's just res comp, but. So Kurova, we almost have another Adam res, so we can start thinking we need to start building Kurova ult. We need to start building Adam ult. That's a big pick, but he just self-reses. We have another Cloak and Dagger ult. It's this is so annoying. So we get a Magneto ult, but they're soul bonded, so none of them can really die to it. So that's unfortunate. We get a big pick onto them, but Kurova. And they're all back 6v6. The thing is with res comp, it's all about stalling. You just stall until you can get on the point, until you get like all the reses back. Okay, Mantis ult and we just run at them. Good body block by Crismo there. So if you didn't see that, let's see if I can show this. So Crismo jumps in front of the Mantis that is stunned to block, because again we're Mantis ulting. So him body blocking all the incoming damage is very good. This is something that people might not really realize on the first glance of what happened during this fight. But this is a big takeaway, even though the quality is terrible. This is a big takeaway to be looking at. Like the casters didn't even mention that. So we use Eternal Bond as a momentum ult, and we're ulting into the back of their backline. And then we're going to use the Terra Cape, or the E ability, in a Cloak's form, to hit them in the Groot ult, and we should be able to melt the people inside of the Groot ult. Yep. Good Emma ult as well.
Kara's first spawn, he has to give up his ultimate. They're going to have to come back. Delena's now over to the Punisher. He had to give up the final judgment. Doesn't get here in time. It's about to. 1 second off. Can they get there? Yes, overtime pops.
We get the TP through. We shouldn't be magging ult here. Like, this mag ult should never be happening here. Like, I understand why we're doing it. So we mag ult to block the incoming damage from the people leaving the portal. But the fact that we use our mag ult here means that we have a free Star-Lord ult. I mean, we have copy, but we really need mag ult for the Star-Lord ult to absorb a majority of the damage. I mean, it's fine. We managed to get it off. We're just going to keep fighting on the point. Very good grab. Huge eye. Huge eye of Agamotto by Terra. But we should be TPing back, and we're going to have, like, Adam res. That's res comp. Like, they're all on the point to live. That's the power of res comp that I was trying to talk about. That's why it is so strong in domination. Even if you play the correct counters, it just doesn't matter. Like, in theory, it should be working. 100 Thieves misplayed it a little bit, but a majority of the time... I mean, you just look at this, right? You just look at the stat line. You look at all the deaths, and then you look at the deaths at the normal comp, and you just see how much more aggressive you can play with res comp. And then we also look at the healing, 86k from the C&D on RMR, which is absolutely insane. But the biggest takeaway is res comp allows for super aggressive pushes, super aggressive fighting, and you don't necessarily have the fear of dying, essentially, when you're playing res comp for like 1, 2, 3 heroes. So those 3 heroes can play super aggressively. You just have to play super smart as well with how you time your self-res cooldowns, things like that. So overall, it's 1-0 now. So very good. So again, I'm predominantly focusing on Sentinels and how they did, you know, a reverse comeback. That's the main idea of this video. So if I'm skipping the 100 Thieves wins, that's why. I could do a 100 Thieves video later on, but again, we're mainly talking about Sentinels. So we're back to domination, because we did 2 rotations. So first map is a domination map, then it goes into convergence or convoy, loser picks. Then after that, whatever wasn't picked on convergence, convoy is then played. So if you picked convoy second, convergence is going to be played third. Then it rotates to another domination match. And then it repeats, the cycle repeats, if that makes sense. So we're back onto domination, so Hell's Haven. We have Sentinels at 1 win, and we have 100 Thieves at 2. So this is a big thing. This is the 4th match or whatever. So when we look at picks of bans, so this is Sen on the left. So Sentinels cannot play Doctor Strange, they cannot play Groot, they can't play Mag, and they can't play Cap. They banned all the Vanguards, all 4 Vanguards. That is a major thing that sometimes might go under the radar. Now, banning out the Vanguard line is pretty good, but I always encourage players and teams to, instead in this pick ban system, to go for the strategist line. I think strategist is a lot more important. I think all you have to do is focus on Mag Emma, because they are the strongest tanks in the entire game. If you focus on Mag Emma in the ban system, and then after Mag Emma, like so you do Mag Emma, then you would focus on strategist or duelist. I think that is the better way to go around, because if you go only for tanks, like you leave Loki, Luna up, you leave all these other strategists up that could probably win the game even if you don't have said Vanguards. And I also think going for certain duelists is also a lot better. If you know the enemy team has a very good Torch, a very good Black Panther, a very good whatever, Punisher, Bucky, Wolverine, I think banning those instead is a lot better. So this is Sen's bans, like what they can't play. So Sen can't play these. And then when we look at 100 Thieves, this is what I was talking about. So Magneto is banned for 100 Thieves. Loki is banned. Wolverine is banned. Psylocke is banned. So we see 1 Vanguard, 1 Strategist, 2 Duelists. That is a very good ban line on the side of Sentinels. While as 100 Thieves, they can play Emma Frost and they can play Bucky. So we're going to be comboing predominantly Emma Frost and Bucky. Those are the big things. While they didn't, again, it's domination. Res comp is a thing, right? Sentinels loves res comp. They love it. They love it with a passion. That was supposed to be a heart. They love it with a passion, right? As we saw in the first match. And domination is a very good, game mode for res comp. So I'm surprised they didn't ban an Atom or a Mantis. I would have probably banned an Atom just because I don't want them to run res again. Well, Sentinel saves Psylocke, Emma, right? They can still do some sort of dive, but it looks like we are opting for the Iron Man. So let's break it down. So we're walking out. Again, we're not doing the penny one, but we are just doing the regular rocket. So that's 25 HP. And 100 Thieves manages to do it as well. So 25 HP and a jump pack for all of them as well. So very good on both sides. This is what you should be doing to min-max everything. Again, it's always good. It's a very slept-on thing that not a lot of teams take. And we are swapping to Jeff to do the speed up as well as 100 Thieves, so everyone should be getting into the points extremely fast. A big thing is though, Amazing is very good at flyers, and he has Iron Man. This is what I was talking about. This is why you ban certain DPS for certain players. I think if they banned Iron Man here, it wouldn't have been bad. But we do have hit scan, Hela, with a Winter Soldier. Ooh, that jump was very bad. That was a misplay by Vinny. That was a very big misplay. And again, Loki was banned, so we don't have the runes that are literally the best item or best ability in the entire game. We don't have runes on the side of 100 Thieves because they didn't ban right. They didn't pick and ban right. So that is a major thing. The fact that Sentinels get Loki and 100 Thieves doesn't is probably one of the reasons 100 Thieves will probably end up losing this match. So it's just a ton of burst damage into one little choke. For the most part, there's not a lot to talk about. Domination's usually like slot fights. It's not really about anything. It's like usually whoever wins the first fight will usually win the match or the point. Because you should be able to stall the 99, then you'll have all of your ults. All you have to do is win the one fight with 6 ults versus 6. If you lose, the other team gets to 99 and it's just a repeat. I really don't like Dom in this game, but that is a big factor. So when we look at ult economy, we have 4. We go for the Psylocke ult. Unlucky. We do get the reset. Very good grab by TTK on all of them. I feel like Armoring was definitely thinking about using this and possibly winning the fights, but it was definitely a smarter decision to hold it. So Techie goes down, they have to reset a bit. This is good. We're taking the high ground approach on the left side, coming around. They give Iron Man a very good angle to use his ultimate, probably flying up and going over, maybe looking for ults below, or he's going to fly up against the wall and look straight down. Either or is a very good option for Iron Man ult in this situation, especially because we're looking to bait out SJP's ultimate, the Luna. So doing that is very good. Either way, Hugging the wall and going up and shooting down, or going over the top and shooting down behind. Both are valid. Both are super good ways to deal with her, or deal with the Luna ult. So we are going for what I was talking about. We whiffed a little bit. We do manage to find the pick onto the Emma Frost, which is very good. We see the clobbering time come in from, who's that? Crimzo. Notice this though. I want to talk about this real quick. So notice this. He clobbering times. And Terra reactively, if you can see, it's so blurry, you can see he reactively Bucky ults, so he's not hit by the clobbering time, because when you use the Winter Soldier ult, you're CC immune. So this is very important to do. Whether that's Doctor Strange ult, any ults pretty much in a game that will do some type of crowd control effect. Doing this as a Winter Soldier is very smart. So this was a very good play by him. In theory. It depends if they can follow up with any of the eliminations, that's a different story. Most of the time, you should be always looking to pair Winter Soldier ult with Groot ult. We kind of wasted Bucky ult in a way, and not in a way. He used it to escape and live. That's good. But the downside is we lose the combo that could be, you know, the winning point of this point, right? The winning moment, essentially. And because of that, our Groot goes down. So not the best outcome. We are going for a TP. So this was a little bit questionable that I really don't like. So this portal position and how fast he's doing it just doesn't make sense. And he's already walking through. So the portal is very off. It's behind the health pack on the other side, if you know what I'm trying to explain. It's behind the health pack. It's close to the wall. And we're TPing when our Luna and Winter Soldier are not even up yet. We have 8 seconds, we have 9 seconds, and we're jumping through the portal already. If he goes down, he's going to be on another timer, and they're just walking in staggered. There's no point to where TTK should be portaling and jumping through right here. It doesn't make any sense. This is a very questionable play that I think this might have been really, like, this is like really bad, like, to be blatant. Like, that is a very bad play. Like, and the portal placement just doesn't make sense. If anything, I would have liked him to portal the high ground and we walk out high ground. I think that's always the better outcome. Or portaling to block off something. I mean, we all managed to get through the portal in the end, but it could have been a very bad situation for the rest of the team. Ooh. We got some good picks from Techie. He managed to grab a lot with his ultimates. I mean, this... It seems like this 100 Thieves is kind of off a bit. Again, we're playing into Loki. We're playing into Loki. And we don't have Loki. That's what I was talking about. It's like, it's way better to go for strategists than our vanguards predominantly. Even though like they're trying to brand out Charisma this game, and they felt that was the weak point. It was just definitely not worth it. So we do a comp swap on the side of 100 Thieves. So we swap off Bucky, we swap off Hela, and we go Ultron, and we go Torch. Torch is still extremely good, probably still S tier in my eyes, or high A tier, like A+. Again, we don't really swap anything here, so all very good. We swap off the Groot. There's no more Groot, which Iron Man counters Groot, and I feel like Iron Man also counters Thing, because Thing doesn't get any value onto Iron Man. So I feel like there was better options to play here. This was a little bit of a question mark in my eyes. Very good movement by Nectar. Stay alive. Kurova finds one onto Delena. Torch is down. I mean, again, this is kind of a steamroll at this point. Super quick wipes. Again, playing Thing into like a character like Psylocke is... Thing does not counter Psylocke. I mean, he does counter Psylocke if the Psylocke is like touching Thing, but that should never be happening. This is a better change. We're swapping to Punisher. This is better. Like it's a way better pick than Torch, I think, in this scenario. We also go to Star-Lord, which is good. Star-Lord is good into Iron Man as well. Yeah. Very good stagger too. Yeah, this is pretty much a steamroll on the side of Sentinels on this map. They're very good at domination because Res Comp is one of their main picks, and all of the Vanguards in this scenario were banned, so DPS and the strategists had free roam. So just, again, a misplay on the drafts on the side of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty comes in when you have Kurova, who's such a good hit scan strategist. You have, you know, amazing...
Very good Emma ult on the flank. Ooh. What? We managed to get the copy off, so that's very good. We're looking at Crimson ult, so Thing ult, which we do manage to land. Yeah. We get the TP. I mean, this was just very one-sided. Yeah. In terms of like strategy, there's not a lot. When again, like I said, when it comes to Dom, because it's very one-sided most of the time. But overall, it's very good. Moving on to our third match for Sentinels that they won. So 100 Thieves won the last match, so Sentinels gets to pick. They picked Convergence, and they also picked attacking first on Central Park Convergence, which can be rather difficult. Now on blue, this is 100 Thieves. This is Sen. So on the side of 100 Thieves, we have a Cap Band, we have a Mag Band, we have Psylocke, and we have a Iron Man. This leaves Torch open, and Torch is very good on this map, Central Park. Emma and Groot is saved on the side of Sentinels. For 100 Thieves, Luna, Psylocke, Loki, and Mag are banned, so they cannot play that. Loki is left open again for Team Sentinels, so that is a big win. Wolverine is saved for 100 Thieves, and Emma is saved. Pretty good bans. But again, not banning the Loki. They're trying to ban out the strategist line. We just go C and D, like... Or wait. It's banned for 100 Thieves. Even I talk about like the pick ban system all the time, and I still get confused, I'll be honest. Even I get very confused. So what we're looking at. So on the side of Sentinels, we have Loki, we have Invis, and we have Ultron. And we're running the Torch. This is a pretty good comp. You could even swap out Loki with Mantis if you wanted to, and just damage boost Torch, which is also a win, or a very good, team composition. APAC runs that a lot, so it's very good. On the side of 100 Thieves, we're running C&D, Invis, Hela, Emma, Thing, and Wolverine. So pretty solid picks on both sides. It should be pretty good. Yeah, he's walking back to Solid. He saw the Wolverine, so he instantly swaps. That's very smart. This swap, there's no point to walking out to a wolf.
potentially chess if we get more heroes involved here. Amazing. And Nectar again.
So for the most part, when it comes to playing this map, when we look at the top down, so we're pressuring this high ground here very good, like extremely well. Because we're pressuring the high ground so much, our Hela and our Invis lose the position at the high ground here, and they have to give up the space and walk down. Because we're walking down here, our tanks have to kind of respect that and know that they lost the up close pressure, and so they also have to walk back. And while they're walking back, our Thing and our Emma can now take this space here. And it's just a very good scenario for Sentinels, that they get all this free space essentially without really having to do much. Because all we did was pressure the Hela a ton, and we just open up all of this avenue essentially.
Or if we're gonna see Terra go to Iron Fist, it goes back to group. That's probably what we're gonna see.
Exactly. No, that's a great
See all the space they're giving up for no reason.
chess if we get more heroes involved here. Amazing. And Nectar again unleashed here. They found a lot of success with those flyers, but like I said, it's so difficult to get through point 3. It's not like they didn't do their job on attack. It's just that they did not hold on defense, right? That's the thought process here.
And because we have all this space, if you can sort of tell in this like hieroglyphics picture, because we have all this space, our torch was able to push up on the left, and now our healers are stuck in this corridor against a torch. All the torch has to do is spam right click here and dive in if you really wanted to, and essentially nuke our healers and nuke our Hela. Like, being in this position against a torch is very bad. You could either, like I said, spam the right clicks here, or you could do right click, right click, right click, and make the triangle like that, and kind of block them out, doing a ton of damage. So this is a very good push by Sentinels, and it wasn't really good reactively by 100 Thieves, because they didn't react that they were playing against a torch very well, because if we look at the positioning, it favors a torch. That's why it's a very major misstep, but we managed to get the pick on the torch, which is absolutely insane, by the way. Should never be happening. We do have the copy, and we're probably going to go for the Invis ult here. We're losing a lot of damage, though. This is probably going to be a reset.
Yep, slow him down. Also down amazing. And despite TTK with another Armorian TTK going absolutely insane.
So a big reset.
I don't know, I mean, there's a
Sides are insane. We're going to see 4 on both, soon to be 5 there. For both, it's all about who gets the first pick. This value is immense. Out goes that invisible boundary, making them use that first. It is good there for Sentinels, but they got to match it before someone goes down. Helena getting walked through that ult.
That was very good. So, if I can... So when you get clobbering timed by Thing, not only does it knock you up, but sometimes it pushes you some. And unfortunately, Delena, whatever you want to call, he kind of got knocked out of the boundary. So he was able to take 1 billion damage. That was a very good grab by onto Kurova. But now it's kind of like what I was talking about, is the entire team was stuck in this corridor against a torch. So we just supernova and we just walk through them essentially. Like, that's all that should be happening. I mean, it's a very good reactive like position by 100 Thieves to react and shield. Mainly by TTK. By putting the shield here, we can't necessarily right click through. You have to like right click under, but the hitbox with the right click on torch is a little scuffed, so you can't really get the tornado behind it. It was a good reaction to go through that door too. So that was a very good play by 100 Thieves to react like that. We do get the TP off. I'm not sure how I felt about that 12 volts. But this guy went back in the spawn. I respect that. Very good. Very good stabilized by 100 Thieves, actually. That's a very big clobbering time. We get both of their healers instantly. Very good focus healing onto our Aramori or our Loki to keep her alive. Now, we TP'd earlier to recontest, so it's on a 3-minute cooldown, so we couldn't TP back. But for the most part, we almost got them to overtime, or we did. No, we didn't. I mean, we took a lot of time off, so that was very good. But when we look at our positioning here is kind of bad. Look, we have Wolf here, we have our Invis, and then the rest of our team are still coming back from spawn. So this position is very bad. If we can get these 2 picks, they're going to be super staggered, and we should be able to push the cart to about here if we get the picks and stagger. That's why TPing back is always very important.
Incredible fights from Sentinels, and I just feel so impressed with Nectar right now. I think he's given a lot of veterans in the Marvel Rivals.
Now this position is very good for Torch and Ultron. So this is all about taking space and positioning, like I talked about in my videos. So we know that they're kind of staggered, right? They're still running back from spawn. We see that they're not all back. We immediately take this right-hand angle, because again, this game is a third-person shooter favoring the right-hand side or the right shoulder. So you always want to be playing with cover on the left side so you see more with your right shoulder. So we have our Ultron and our Torch sitting side by side. The Ultron can put his drone on and he will get healed as well. They're playing this angle because it gives a lot of line of sight and we can pretty much dominate that. And because we're controlling this lane, we have our Emma Frost walk up to take space while the cart's in the back. And then we have our thing also pushed up, and we also have our main healer pushed up. So we have 5 of 6 pushed up to hold this line. This is very good. It's what you should be doing to take space. And the thing is about Loki, if a fight's happening or something, they can always put a clone, either rune, TP to it, or whatever. So that's very good.
Thieves and Terra.
And again, owning this height, this is a very good positioning here for Flyers.
The one thing is though, the second something happens like this invis boundary, and it's now this is a question mark, these two are kind of in a very bad spot. Because we don't know what's happening inside of the invis boundary. Their entire team inside the invis boundary could be looking at them. Like these are like a #1 priority. So we could all be looking at them because we don't have LOS. Even if you have teammates in there, it's something you have to worry about. Oh, what the heck? So really good reactionary ults. Human Torch popped his ult. TTK pops his the counter, so Torch gets charmed, so you can't throw the supernovas anywhere, so that's a very good reaction ult. Very good Ultron ult to keep everybody alive. We are still cooking them, and that's just the advantage of having Loki, the copy, having it up so much and having the runes. That's why it's like, I think 100 Thieves really messed up with drafting by letting Loki go through so many times. They were winning when Loki wasn't going through. It's a major factor. Now, when you're playing against a Torch, something to keep in mind is typically I'm highly against coming out this side because this is the most common area to leave spawn at this point. Is coming out this left side or right side if you're on the like looking at from the attacker side. This side, you just put a whole bunch of your right clicks as Torch here, and it's like impossible to leave. That's why I always think maybe splitting resources going left and going right is good. Like on the this side, the left side. I mean, it's hit or miss sometimes, but I always think against the torch, you really have to split up where you're going. Otherwise, you're just going to be, like, so much damage is going to be going through all the time.
That's a good crystal pop there. The most damage you can do with them in this moment on this current patch is actually pull crystal and burn through it with 100 charge. It'll massively impact the health of the Vanguard's Nectar. Gonna find TTK and Terra though, and that is good. 3 for Delena. Can Nectar keep going? Feel different right now in the sky.
Nice.
I mean, this guy is incredible. I mean, Nectar, I think, has played a very good Psylocke at times on Solar 2. Right now, he's absolutely
very good.
making sure Sentinels can get to that third phase of the map. Terra now goes over to the Winter Soldier. That's the idea for him, needing to delete.
So we do see a Winter Soldier swap, which is pretty good. I mean,
Now there's that Emma Frost on the field.
we could have gotten another like hard hit scan. Like I don't like Star-Lord isn't even that bad here,
Frost is right now. Sentinels taking
because it would be Star-Lord into Ultron, Human Torch.
He thinks the idea is just to melt Crimson.
Up we go. Ultron's rage once again, just pulling out some cooldowns impossible into that bubble. Ooh, and this is going to be nice, but it's matched right back. Well done there by the side of Harvey to keep them moving forward, giving them space.
Very good Cloak and Dagger ult.
Down goes the direction they want to head towards the point. Very smart play. Out goes that K2. Get some damage increase up from Delena with the god.
Very good runes.
Much value. Clobbering time goes out. Don't see very many hit there, but Crimzo going to clean up Harvey. Crimzo does find value. Techie onto Terra.
So again, we're just staggering them.
With the point with the thing, just trying to buy time, but does fall from Techie. Now Nectar on a TTK. Sentinels on this attack.
Yeah, they don't. It seems like 100 Thieves doesn't really have an answer for Torch. Now we go Punisher. We should have been on this from the beginning. Punisher, Hela into Thing, into Torch would have been like the best option. Like this should have been coming out right away. I don't care what anyone says. This character is very good right now. Like we're just playing double hit scan into double flyers. Like now we should be doing a little bit better.
Seduction unfortunately has to turn away to try to help the back line there, but you cannot BCC when you're
But because we kind of swapped a little too late, I mean, we still got the final judgment out from Punisher. I can't speak right now.
positioning. Just drop back as a squad. Down goes one as they do lose Nectar there from Harvey.
A great pick. Now they're coming back in though. Sentinels building up ultimate on the flank. Delena is there, but it's met by Ultron. Building up again. Terra, he's so good at just getting back in the turret. Turret building ultimate. Right in the sky though. Ultron's range goes so low, but he's protected.
Nice.
And another Ultron rage, but good positioning behind that middle.
Should I be using?
Delena with a good off angle, but that
Yep.
is a big
You can use Ultron ult for either DPSing or supporting. Typically, I favor in using for supports, like using it as a support ult should be. But because you get it so often, you can use it as a tempo ult to do a ton of damage. So that's something you can do.
A tough map, I think, for 100 Thieves. I mean, first point.
Okay, now we see a map flip. So now we have 100 Thieves on attack, and they're going to be walking out Storm Punisher, which is kind of like the meta now. We're still doing the same exact team comp for Sentinels, which is, I mean, it's a very strong composition. But I think the Storm Punisher is also very good as well. This could be a really great answer. Yes, that is true. 100 Thieves comp is very front to back.
He's building toward that ult very fast. They'll have it into a bond first. We'll see what they do with it, considering
We're looking at a tempo ult for Harvey. We just see how fast we get C&D ult.
50% on and climbing. Good positioning. Harvey already at 100. That is crazy. It's just got to play into that bubble. You see, they're going to play aggressive.
So very good to immediately hit their backline.
As strategists do some small tick damage.
That's fine.
By Techie. Damage boost
Yeah, very good.
gets a pick with that ult. Followed up. Well done. And here comes Nectar.
We get Supernova already. So basically, when it comes to Supernova, Supernova, in theory, is not supposed to necessarily get eliminations. The whole point of it is to do a ton of damage, reclaim space, and force enemies out of positions. Because we Supernova, and we're blocking all of this area here, and we don't have support ults ready again, we have to respect the Supernova ult, right? We have to respect the Torch ult. They're forced to go back. Otherwise, you're going to be taking a ton of damage, and we don't have an answer yet for all that damage. So because of that, it's a very good zoning ult. It's a very useful tool to, again, get a ton of space back. And we almost have copy again, and we almost have Ultron ult. So in terms of ult economy, like, we're going to be up here. We just copy for Punisher. And we're barely, like, we don't have Storm ult. Like, this should be one of the first ults we're getting, but it's fine. As you can see, all the space they reclaimed because of Torch ult. So we go with the Invis Punisher combo. So we do the Invis boundary, then we use our Punisher ult, right? Nobody can see him. They're like, huh? Where is he? But we have copies, so we just copy Invis and we're fine. So it's no big deal. There's not a lot you can do. And again, you're going through a super small choke against all of this damage. For some reason, we TP'd. I don't get the TP. Like, I understand that he wanted the TP. Like, they were all alive when he was probably making the TP. Yeah. Now we swapped the double hit scan. This might get better value. Another Supernova's out. Another C&D ult. We're using Emma to try to counter the Human Torch ult, which we kind of do. Focus him down. Nice. We're walling here to block off the heals, so that's very good. So that was very good by 100 Thieves. Yeah, I mean, it could have been a little bit better, but it was definitely good. Turns out ult economy, we have a thing with Provo. We are going for this weird kind of wrap that I like. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. It's a lot of damage on the side of Sentinels to burn that so fast. So again, we're just keeping them at the spawn because of the amount of damage we can whip out. With the amount of zone control Torch has, the amount of poke Ultron has. It's a very good comp. Again, we're just diving in with Torch. There isn't like a lot to talk about. It's mainly just like space control, like with Torch. Now we go for the mirror Torch. I mean, he did amazing. So very good by Sentinels there. We just look at the difference. The best option, I think their best idea was either to mirror or go double hit scan. Double hit scan wasn't working for whatever reason, so I think mirroring was also like a very good idea. I think you have to mirror faster once you realize that the hit scan isn't working. They waited until the very end to go for the mirror. I think that was the biggest thing, was trying to flip it as fast as possible. So they didn't play too well here. Again, Torch, we should be looking at Torch to be banning, because as of recently, 100 Thieves hasn't been playing too much Torch in comparison to other teams. Like, they still play it, but when you look at like the actual statistics, they're not playing it a ton in comparison to like Sentinels now. So Definitely should have swapped there. Now we come to our final match of Convoy on Midtown. Predominantly, Sentinels was very good at Midtown with their triple Vanguard strategy. So this is Sen, this is 100 Thieves, just to make it easier. So for 100 Thieves, they cannot play Mag. They cannot play Loki. They can't play Psylocke, they can't play Torch, but they saved Emma and they saved Luna. On the side of Sentinels, they saved Thing and they saved Emma. They can't play Torch, they can't play Psylocke, they can't play Mag or Cap. Again, a big thing. Loki is free here for Sentinels. This is just very bad picks again on the side of 100 Thieves, picks on the side of bans. You're playing against a team that has a very good Loki player, right? Loki is one of the best, or if not, is the best strategist in the entire game. The fact you're not banning it and you're letting it go for the other team and the other team is banning it is a big issue. You don't really have an answer to that. That's the major difference. This pick ban is very bad. They relied a little too heavily on banning out Crimzo and focusing that down than actually looking at certain strategies. They saved Luna, but it doesn't really matter because they left Luna Loki open for Sentinels if they wanted to play it, which is essentially the strongest, setup in the entire game in theory, unless you're playing Flyers or whatever. So when we're looking at coming out of spawn, we see Winter Soldier, we see Ultron, and we see the Invis, not Ultron, Iron Man. We see the Invis because we're playing a Flyer. When we have a man that's flying in the sky, right? And we give them a shield, and we try to shoot at the person, there's a shield. So, we want to play Flyers here. This is very good. And then again, we have Loki. And we're on the 100 Thieves side, we're coming out Groot, so we're trying to combo Groot and Winter Soldier, and we have Hela for any Flyers. The thing is, we have Iron Man. Iron Man counters essentially Groot. So Hela and Winter Soldier have to shut down Ultron so that Groot can get value. Why do I keep saying Ultron? They have to shut down Iron Man to get value. If they're not shutting him down, then Groot is probably going to have to swap off of Groot. These are the big things to be looking at.
That's all I got. You know what I mean? Not much more than that. As we begin fight one.
Pretty good positioning for the most part. We just watch the ult charge on Iron Man. That's the big thing.
It's very offense coded, in my opinion. You see the push through once you get through two, almost guaranteed. But this level of play's a different story. But talking ladder as you're climbing, and here we go.
So the whole job of Terra and Hela are to keep Rymazing on the ground as much as possible. We already have Bucky ult, which is insane. We should just go. Wow. That's very good. Very good by Terra. Now, we're walking out, though. Because we used it so early, I mean, it was very good. It was a very good play to use that early. Because they had nothing. We got them to use Invis ult. But we see the swap to CND. So that... okay, let me rephrase this. We swapped to CND because we used Invis ult. And CND builds ult way faster than Invisible Woman. They have one of the fastest ult building in the entire game. So getting that out as fast as possible is very good. Now we're going to CND because how fast Terra on the Winter Soldier is building ultimate. We're getting it first fight before any other ult. So the swap to CND is very good to match that. So Terra can't get a ton of value essentially. We have copy. We have Winter Soldier ult. We're on Groot to do the combo. We're still on a Flyer. And the only ult we have to be looking at is Harvey's on CND. We don't have a Magneto. And we have Iron Man ult coming up. So that is the big things to be looking at. So we do the C&D ult. Great ult. Yep. That's the issue that we're running into now.
Game 7 ult for trades or just back and forth, right? With a yeet across the map, an absolute golf shot.
Now we're looking at Root ult. We're looking at Luna ult. We almost have Emma. Almost Hella. We could combo Hella Emma. We could combo Hella Groot. We have Groot Bucky ready. Unfortunately, they Luna ult, so there's no reason to be looking for Bucky ult here. We got the Luna ults. They somehow came back. TP. Side of Crimzo. That's a very good TP. I don't think Nectar's a Bucky player. So very good by 100 Thieves. We're not doing any swaps on the side of any team really here. We have Loki copy. We could be using it as a temple, which we do. So very good. Use it as a temple ult to push them as fast as possible. To reclaim the space, because fighting this second point of Midtown, so second point Midtown, is very hard to hold sometimes, or very hard to attack once they get space. So once we have this space on the fence, it's very hard for attackers to really push in. So using ults to get all the space in the neutral is a very good idea. The faster we can get the presence, the faster it's going to be able to hold better. Ooh, he manages to just get the one. Very good. So very good. We're trying to die on points. We come back with Emma ults. So we're Emma ulting to counter the Winter Soldier ult. So that's a very good grab. We need to focus Winter Soldier down, focus fire. We didn't manage to focus fire on him, but we did get the Hella instead. That's a 1-for-1. This man's at 80%. He just used it at the very beginning of the fight, by the way. Like, how fast he's building ults is insane. Bro. This guy is going insane. So they're just going to be TPing to new spawn. So we're fighting in the neutral. We have ults here. We swapped to Wolf because of the Groot. I wouldn't have minded him staying on Winter Soldier, honestly. But we are going for the pick. So very good. We have ult advantage on the side of Sentinels, so they should be winning these next couple fights. And the next fight should, in theory, be the last fight. We have a lot of shutdown ults. 100 Thieves doesn't really have that many answers. Mainly because the Iron Man ult is the X factor. Right? If we can get a good Iron Man ult on one of the strategist ults. I mean, it's kind of over.
As long as he gets through these shields.
Oh, and that's the combo. Emma's just gotta try to lock them down, and then you throw out this pulse, which will happen. Ooh,
What?
Ooh, okay, just gonna use it to counter out. That's not a bad idea at all. Good play there by Ryan Mason, who does get straggling pressing though.
I mean, that was actually pretty smart. I can't deny that. Like, it was good. It's fine. I think it was a good play. I think it was a fine play. Nice. I mean, that was a very good play by Amazing. I can't deny that. Going for the Hello ult was very smart in that scenario. So that was a very good ult. So what I've gathered from this, game pretty much is Sentinels. The biggest takeaways are Sentinels, to pull this comeback off, 100% outdrafted 100 Thieves. Like a majority of the time. Loki was such a crucial part of Sentinels, as well as Adam for Res Comp. Like, 100 Thieves should be going into this match, or the best of 7, knowing that they like Sentinels likes Res Comp. Sentinels likes Loki a ton. These are bans we should be looking at. When it comes to domination maps, we should be looking at a Adam ban. When it comes to Convergence Convoy, we should be looking at a Loki ban. So we're walking out same compositions. Still on the Iron Man. Delana wasn't really shutting down Rymazing on this Iron Man, which was definitely a major factor. So we're doing the Diner hold from 100 Thieves, and we're already pushed out a Diner because of the sheer amount of damage, which is not the best. Like, this is what you need to be holding, a Diner, and they pushed already to the super small area. So that's just not good by the side of 100 Thieves. They weren't able to really hold the space that well. So that is a major contributor right now. We're already at 80% or almost at 100% for ult. We could use Iron Man ult as a tempo ult if we wanted to. Or we should be looking to shut down one of the strategist ults early. But we might tempo ult. I wouldn't be surprised. After we break Strange Shield, we might go for it. Didn't manage to connect anything with the maximum pulse. So probably saving it there is better. Nice. So that's the power of the combo, right? Root Bucky. Again, very good ult prio and ult management. We get the TP out from Techie. Wait, what? Ult advantage on the side of the Sentinels, so it's very good. We have another Iron Man ult. We should definitely be saving it. Oh, we go for tempo. It's fine. I think we save. I mean, our strategists are somehow getting eliminations onto their tanks. They're not receiving major heals. In no way should that be happening.
You know, I don't think you could tell anybody last week that we would see Iron Man versus Iron Man and Bucky versus Bucky in the grand finals of the
So we do a swap. So Delana back to Hela. Yeah, the Captain America change is good. pressures their backline a lot more on the side of Sentinels. We have a lot of ults on the side of Sen. We have even ults pretty much on 100 Thieves. Ooh. Now this is the staggering now. They're in a very bad position. We're 7 seconds on Delana. So we swapped to Iron Fist and we swapped to Bucky for the 2. I don't know why. I think this character's... I don't know. This character into this comp is really bad. So we go for the Luna. We have ult here. For Iron Man. It's good to chase our C&D there with our cap ult, just in case. Again, super staggered. Yep. This is just a tempo. So Sentinels have a large tempo. In comparison to 100 Thieves, we're swapping again.
One of the best guys in the game in terms of his gameplay on Iron Man, right? This guy's tracking is just absolutely crazy. 100 Thieves, there's so many questions that they need to answer. Crimzo on Groot in the sky.
It's just the tempo momentum of Sentinels is overwhelming 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves was never really able to stabilize that much, so that's a big contributing factor. So they're aware of Terra's position. Managed to get the kidnap. Doesn't really matter. That's the one mistake about playing, you know. That missed? Yeah, huge. Insane. I want to look at this. So again, the biggest things is that Sentinels really outdrafted 100 Thieves, like I would say like the entire series. Every single draft, it seemed like Sentinels won, because the fact that we're banning Loki, and we're not banning Loki as well. Like again, Loki's the best healer in the game and offers so much more value. Even if you look at the healing difference. It seems like 100 Thieves does more, but you also have to account that, how do I say this? Sentinels is receiving less damage, right? They're not taking as much damage in comparison to 100 Thieves. That's why we're able to do so much. I mean, look at the damage charts, right? Is this a major damage difference for a majority of them? It's unfortunate because I feel like Terra played extremely well this entire series. Like every single match he did good. Like he did what he was supposed to do. But I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, it was a very good match. If you want to watch all of them, I highly encourage you. This was my little breakdown of how Sentinels pretty much pulled off the reverse sweep, which was definitely insane to watch live. So if you found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't, maybe you didn't, or maybe, you know, found it entertaining. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Greatly helps with the channel, and it really does help me out as well in general. So hope you have a great and safe day, and I'll catch you in the next.